Oh, you caught me having a cheeky little tea break. Hey, cheers to that. Welcome to Zoe Your Own. So now you've caught me, we better talk about some repurposing. Hey, whoopsie. So when I first started getting into gardening a couple of years ago, can be a bit overwhelming thinking that you need all of this, all of this gear and equipment and everything else, and expensive, but it needn't be. So I'm here today to show you guys just a few little tricks and things that I've learned over the last couple of years in terms of repurposing, and that you don't need to go out and buy necessarily fancy propagators and cardboard seed trays. There are plenty of other things that you can use instead, or just keeping hold of stuff to reuse it time and time again. I mean, a lot of my tools as well, I've picked up from car boot sales. I'm fairly certain my hoe, cheeky, is older than me. Quite rude to talk about my hoe and not go and get my hoe. But she's not particularly dirty yet. But it is still very early on in the gardening season. So yeah, I'm sure you'll see a lot more of her. Right, so now I've finished being distracted by my not so dirty hoe that I can still see out of the corner of my eye. I'm actually going to tell you guys, I think you probably like to know now, the things that I have used that I've found helpful in terms of saving a little bit of money here, not necessarily throwing so much stuff away. Even though I'm common as muck, I'm a little bit of a snob, and I do not like the tap water at all where I drink, where I live. Sorry, where I drink. I don't even put tap water in my kettle. So we use bottled water for absolutely everything. Well, and then instead of going out and spending £20 on a propagator, I'll use one of my trays. I did buy this one, admittedly, but it's perfect to put little pots on. And then I just get up some 5 litre bottles and cut them up, and I've got plenty of them because I get through maybe one of those a day. So that's just one thing that you can do to save yourself a little bit of money. And again, if it gets broken, it doesn't matter. You can just then throw it in the bin when you're done with it. Or even if you don't enjoy gardening, it's not like you've gone out and you've spent £20 on the best propagators to then not enjoy it and give them away or throw them away or whatever. So that's just one thing that I use. You can either use them on top as a greenhouse effect, or what some people do. I haven't myself, so I cannot share my experience on this one yet. But what some other people do is they'll say take the 5 litre. Oh, I've already got some cut up. Here's my Blue Peter moment. They'll poke holes in the bottom of one half, fill it with their soil and compost, and then they'll place the other bit over the top to effectively create a greenhouse. And I mean, that didn't cost me anything but maybe 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes of my time to cut it up. So not only are you repurposing bottles, you're also saving some of your time. Yeah, boy. So as you know, if you watched my first video, I germinated my lovely little sugar snap peas in some toilet roll holders, and as you can see, they're very, very nice and happy and healthy. Sorry about the mess down here. I don't think that it's just strict to sugar snap peas or sweet peas that you can sow in these. I think you could probably do just about anything, but I haven't myself. But if you guys have done anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments so I'd love to give it a go myself. I do also assume that if toilet rolls are okay, that you should be able to use a kitchen roll. I don't know if you'd need to cut it down to size. It'd be quite big to germinate anything in, I guess, a kitchen roll, but who knows. Again, if you've done this yourself, please hit me up and let me know. I myself haven't used egg cartons for anything, but my very good friend Abby, who told me about the toilet rolls, and my one of my pro guys that I watch on YouTube as well, they use potato cartons. No, they use egg cartons. Now the guy that I watch on YouTube, Grow Veg, I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He, I believe, chits his potatoes in his egg cartons. My friend Abby, I don't know what she does in her egg cartons, but I will get her to tell me, and who knows, we might have a cheeky guest appearance. And much like with the plastic bottles you see down here, I'm pointing at with my ratty tatty DMs. These are so old but so comfy still. Plastic cups like this, that you use for house parties and stuff when your kid's getting trashed. Or when you're an adult, so you don't have too much washing up to do. If you've got any of these spare, these are perfect as little individual greenhouses, if you like, or to create that effect. And they just literally pop over the top like that. I'm not sure if I picked that up off of a video or someone else, or I just kind of assumed that if you can use cut up plastic bottles as greenhouses, why couldn't you use a plastic cup basically. I haven't used these yet, so again I can't share my experience with these and how I've done, but these are again just little old takeaway containers. Again, I've seen a couple of the pro guys on YouTube use, just repurposing. Seems a shame to throw them away. Obviously they're always handy in the kitchen too, but I think the idea of the game with these is you poke little holes in the bottom, put your soil and your seedlings in, and then you pop the lid on, and that gives you a teeny tiny seedling greenhouse. I mean, what a great idea, right? So again, much like with, you know, the cardboard stuff, there isn't any need to necessarily go out and spend lots of money on all of these bits. I don't think I paid any money for any single pot or plug tray that you see on any of these shelves. And in fact, I didn't even pay anything for these shelves. My mother-in-law gave them. They were kindly cleaning out their greenhouse, and they kindly gave them to me. You know, so that's even something there. My fleece on the bottom of the shelves, I did pay for that, but the bubble wrap I saved from a parcel. I can't remember where I got the clear plastic from. I may have purchased that. But again, these ones are all from plants that I've bought, or that my mum or someone else has bought for me over the years. Obviously, they're full of compost now, but you get the general idea of it. This one, my mum gave me some nasturtium seeds a couple of years ago, but I think it's from a shop. And I used it for my nasturtium seeds this year. Hey! And then this stack of seedling trays here, my lovely neighbours Rosie and Keith were having a clear out. And they didn't need them anymore, so they asked me if I did, so I kindly took them and have obviously been putting them to good use. But yeah, all of these little plug trays and those pots, every single one repurposed. That's what we like. So just the other side of my greenhouse that you can obviously see here, if I can get my finger in the right way, is this is my shed storage area. And as you can see, I've got some more of these green tubs here that I saved my sugar snaps into. I keep calling them sugar snaps, and then I'm thinking I'm talking about the wrong thing. And in there, I don't know if you can see very well, I've got some more spare plug trays in there, again, the ones that I've left over. And then in the bottom one, because it's not just the plastic and the cardboard that wants to be repurposed, but you can keep jam jars for storage and stuff. Or, which will be for another video, I can show you how I false bottom with one of those jars most of my houseplants, because I've got some of them that need sorting out as well. So yeah, this is my little repurposing storage area, if you like. Oh yeah, and the dirty hose in the background. Gosh, always lurking. So before I give you a tour of my garden, I'm just going to tell you a bit about repurposing other people's belongings as well. So I mentioned earlier about my lovely neighbours Rosie and Keith that gave me a load of seedling trays. They were also kind enough to give me this very, very big wheelbarrow, because they needed a new one because the handle was broken. So they sent it my way, of which I was very, very grateful for. And alongside that, they also gave that big old stack of pots down the bottom, and I'm fairly certain I've got some more pots in the garden that they gave me as well, because they had no more use for it. So I thought, you know what, I'll repurpose it for you. Before we explore the wilderness, and believe me, it is a bit of a wilderness at the minute, because I do need to cut my grass. But as I said in the first video, I am in England, and we get lots of rain here. In fact, it's really quite warm now, but it was actually raining this morning. So who knows when I'm going to be able to cut my grass. And my pots also do need lots of tending to for weeds, so I apologise for all of that. But in my defence, I'm a beginner gardener, and it is just the start of the season. But either way, let's go and have a look. So we'll start here with my sad looking salad planters, or salad crates, that, as you can see, they definitely need more composting. And then this one is my herb crate, and that's where my some of my lettuce seedlings will go. So you'll get to see me do that. So these two wooden crates here, this one here that's got the strawberries in, and then these two interesting looking wooden crates here, and I've got one in the greenhouse, and we'll quickly span around to my primroses over here. We'll have a better look at that in a minute. Those wooden crates come from a place that I worked. They were literally just going to throw them in the bin. Like, no, you're coming home with me. And as you can see, we've got some very, very successful herbs growing in there. They seem to absolutely love it. My curry plant that I mentioned that I bought for 50p is incredibly happy, but I do think that my lemon verbena has sadly died, so we'll have to either sing that one back to life or get myself a new one, I think. So not only do I have some of my strawberries in one of my lovely wooden crates, I've also got some in a tyre, because why not? I'm very aware that they need some love and they need tending to. It's very much on my list. Then just behind my strawberries, this is a bucket that my other half brought home from work one day. They didn't need it, so I cleaned it out, and it's got my peach tree growing in it. It was a bit sad and poorly last year. I do apologise. I think a dog is walking past my house. Apologies about that. I just had to chase the mad little dog round the garden to get her to stop barking. How dare another dog walk past, eh? So where did we get to? Ah, yes, that was it. The tyre and this bucket here. And then back to Rosie and Keith. They've given me so much. It's amazing. God bless their hearts. They also gave me this green bucket here that I've got some Bellis daisies. They've carried on from last year, which is amazing because I didn't know that they did. And I've got lots of little plant labels in everything because I had loads of plants last year and I wasn't sure what would come back up and what wouldn't. But the Bellis daisies have these little seedlings in here are from a Self-Set digitalis, which I'm very, very happy about. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about repurposing. And this is also a pot from lovely old Rosie and Keith. I have some repurposed irises as well. They do need some love. I'm sorry, Fran. Please don't hurt me when you see how sad at the minute these guys are looking. But my lovely friend Fran, she was moving house and she had some gorgeous ivories. Ignore the weeds, they're not really there. Some gorgeous irises, beautiful yellow colour that she gifted me when she moved house. I believe she took some for herself, obviously. I guess that would make sense. She's allowed. But my absolute favourite thing in my garden that I have repurposed is this little guy here. It's looking a little bit sad. I definitely need to cut my grass. But my Hoover died and it seemed such a shame to throw little Henry in the bin. So I got my other half to drill a couple of holes in the bottom and then I threw some soil in and lots of violas in there. And as you can see, they seem to be doing pretty well. I don't really know what this guy is. I'm not sure if this is a plant or a weed. I'll have to look that up. I think that's a plant. I think that's a type of forget-me-not. I'm not too sure, but we'll have a look in that and we'll learn together. Yeah. All right, so I finished my tea and I've also nearly finished the video. There is just one more thing that I repurposed that I would like to show you / talk to you about, and that is this lovely little thing just here. So this is my potting bench that is actually a repurposed wooden ironing board. God knows how old this thing is, but I only paid £5 for it from a car boot sale. This is his third repurposing since we've had it. His first one was as a keyboard table, bench, holder, whatever. Not for me, for my other half. He's a very talented musician. The second repurposing was for like a dressing table, clothes holder. But his third and final, and well, I say final, it might not be, but favourite purpose is definitely keeping me company here in my humble little greenhouse, potting on things and whatever else one needs a bottom bench for. But in terms of that is it for today. Thank you very much for us stopping by. And if there's anything in terms of repurposing that you think I've missed out on, of items to use or things to use things for, or even if I'm using for something or you think that I'm using something right, please hit me up in the comments. Let's all learn together, stick together and share each other's random little tidbits. Something else that I've just seen literally at the corner of my eye that I have reused is an old Benner barbecue skewer. I can't actually remember what I've used this for. Maybe when I go through some old stuff it'll wrap my brains. But yeah, all sorts of lovely random things. I'll definitely be back soon. It'd be great if you could come and come and keep me company, I guess, just so I don't feel like I'm talking to my phone all the time. But anyway, later, staters.